Welcome. Oh no.
What
I
happened?
froze for a second. I froze for a
Yeah.
second. Oh no.
Yeah. I also learned I can pause the stream midway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just straight up go like that. Oh,
Whoa.
I don't know what's
That's
happening.
I don't know what's happening. What has happened with StreamYard? Anyways, episode 114 of the Wars in the Stars. Wow. This is bad. Of the Wars in the Stars podcast. Today is A Train Day.
Yeah,
It is A Train Day. Happy A Train Day to all those who celebrate. Um, incredible. Um,
absolutely.
the boys, obviously good marketing with
Mm-hmm.
the A Train memes. Been fantastic. Been enjoying them. Um, because some people you feel that way about.
Yeah.
No, all jokes aside. Happy Valentine's Day. Um, and if you're watching, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. All love from here. Um, Alex, it's been a couple weeks since we've discussed things.
Sure
How are things
has.
going for you?
Say, as you can hear, I'm a little sick, but
Right?
I'm managing.
Yep.
Yeah, just kind of in enjoying the ride as we kind of get up to Deadpool 3. Um, it's the first time I've been excited for a superhero movie in a long time.
Right.
So,
Well, also, consider the fact that this week was the greatest superhero film of all time came out. I don't know if you've been seeing this about Madam Web.
yeah, I never thought in my life I would see the words Morbius was better.
Morbius was better. Oh my god, I might just want to go see it to laugh. Um,
Insanity.
insane. Sony, what are we doing? What are we doing, Sony? Um, no, I've been doing excellent. We had the Super Bowl, so we're kind of winding down. We're in I wouldn't say a dead period for sports because this is now really college basketball's month and a half to shine. Um, Major League Baseball coming up. Besides that, I don't really got much going on. School, obviously. Play a lot of pool. That's our activity as a group we like to play. Oh, I should have mentioned this to you, but me and a few of my suite mates, we have a movie night, and they weirdly enough were like, "Hey, let's rewatch the entirety of the MCU," and
Ooh,
I'm like,
ooh, that's a good nap time for half of it.
woof. Hey, I don't think we know how daunting that is. I don't think it's clicked yet. It's clicked for me because I know. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of miss old Marvel. I'm like, yeah, but the old Marvel were done fairly quick, and once we get to the new Marvel, you guys are gonna not enjoy anything you're watching. Uh, so we watched the first Iron Man last night.
Okay.
Incredible. I mean, like every time I watch it, it's timeless. It's a fantastic movie. Like I never get bored of watching the
Mm,
first Iron Man.
yeah. I mean, over here, I know you're talking about Super Bowl. Taylor Swift won. Go her.
Yes, yeah,
No, that's so funny. I love seeing the Taylor Swift memes. I'm not no Swiftie or nothing, but I think it's so funny seeing football fans get mad about her.
yeah. She was on screen for 54 seconds. I was like, who cares? Um,
Softies.
I will say, my heart goes out to the city of Kansas City today. Uh,
Yeah, it's crazy what was
uh,
happening.
Unfortunately, I saw 9 kids. I just looked at Twitter before we got on. 9 kids in the hospital. I've grown up in the Boston area, or as a Boston sports fan, I should say, and we've had that city has had a privilege of a lot of parades. We've won a lot of championships, and it's just sad. It's supposed to be a day of celebration. It's terrible. Um, I hope people are okay, and yeah, it should never happen. It should never happen with something like that. But um, yeah, back to we're gonna watch. I think maybe the Incredible Hulk tonight, but they were asking me like, are there movies we could skip? I'm like, yeah, but then also like, you're not getting the full experience, I guess, because there is something thrilling about watching it through all of them.
Hmm. Satisfying at the end.
Yes. Now my thing is I'm trying to convince them that Thor, like the original Thor, is better than they think. I think they're gonna think. I want them to think that. We
Good
like
luck.
the original Thor.
Good luck. It's hard to convince people that movie's good.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's better than people give it credit for, especially after watching Love and Thunder.
Mm.
Like Thor, I'm not saying Thor is a masterpiece, but like the stuff on Asgard's really good.
Yeah, I mean, over here though, been cooking up on anime too much.
Yes, I saw you change your like Discord profile picture, and I'm like, bro,
It's
this guy's
to
loving anime.
it's to my favorite character from Demon Slayer, Inosuke. I love him so much. He's so stupid, and that's what I love about him.
Awesome.
But yeah, or caught up on Demon Slayer, watching Attack on Titan, watching Jujutsu Kaisen. About to start another one here soon. Don't know what it's gonna be, but
Glad you're
also,
enjoying it.
yeah, also of course, wrestling fan. We're on road to WrestleMania right now. Shit's going crazy. Twitter taking over. WWE trending for a whole weekend straight. It was crazy.
Yeah, The Rock getting into it with Cody. Was this guy's name? Cody?
Cody
Am
Rhodes.
am I getting this right? Okay, I know a little
Mhm.
bit. I've been seeing it on the Twitters,
Yeah,
seeing a
the
little
We
about
Want
it.
Cody movement. It's crazy because it's the story of everything happening is insane because basically what happened is The Rock joins the board of TKO, which is the parent company to the
Yeah,
UFC and the WWE. And right now WWE is going through a horrible injury bug right now. Like so
really.
many people are getting hurt. It's crazy. So The Rock said he wanted to save WrestleMania and take the top person in WWE's like the number one merch seller, number one fan, like most loved by the fans. He wanted to snub his win and go main event WrestleMania himself to save the show.
Wow.
And that endorsed so much fan backlash that for 72 hours straight, number one trending was hashtag We Want Cody.
Right.
It's been crazy. It's been a crazy time. Then they had the press conference during I think the same week as the Super Bowls, like stuff in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
That stuff blew up. It's been crazy. Wrestling's crazy right now.
Yeah, that's excellent. It's fantastic. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's get into the first topic. Since we've been on the air, we had the unfortunate passing of, and I'm getting choked up even talking about it because it like I remember seeing it. I sat where I'm sitting right now, and it just like I sat there for 5 minutes. I was like so sad. We had the unfortunate passing of Carl Weathers. Died in his sleep. Um,
Due to a
played obviously. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
cardiovascular disease.
Um, in the Predator franchise, Terminator franchise, Happy Gilmore. Obviously, his most iconic role as Apollo Creed in the Rocky films, and Grief Karga, as we know him in The Mandalorian. Alex, your reaction to the news and favorite like Carl Weathers moment?
Yeah, I was shocked at the news. They don't Carl Weathers didn't give the impression that anything was wrong. Um, you know, I honestly thought when I first saw the story that like it was one of those spoof accounts who always pulls the stuff,
Right,
and then like I looked it up and it's like, oh, he's like actually dead. Like
right,
Star Wars Instagram posted it. All that was crazy. Um, but yeah, so I personally, for Carl Weathers, I associate him more with Grief Karga than anybody. Um, and so I'd say really just like I really enjoyed him in season 3 of The Mandalorian. I've enjoyed seeing that he's become this badass leader. You know, he hasn't lost his edge like people think. So I really enjoyed seeing that, and it's gonna be weird not seeing him in the show anymore because that's kind of like the big thing is like over the seasons of The Mandalorian is you see the progress of Navarro and what they
right,
do with him. I don't even know what they're gonna do.
right. For me, it's obviously like it's Apollo Creed. like
Mhm.
the Dancer Destroyer, the King of Stain, Count of Monte Fisto. Like that's obviously it's iconic. Um, obviously as a villain for the first two Rocky films, and then Rocky 3 and 4 as Rocky's friend and trainer in 3. Like fantastic. I mean, it's just incredible. Those Rocky films, like the Star Wars films,
Mhm.
they transcended cinema. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, iconic, nostalgic, whatever word you want to use. Revolutionized the '70s, right? First Rocky came out in '76.
Yep.
Um, I will always remember him as Apollo Creed. I sit here right now and I have a Rocky poster in my room. You know, so that hurt, obviously. I mean, the Rocky franchise is probably one of my 3 favorite, or even 5. It's in my top 5 for sure of franchises. Grief Karger, obviously. I'll never forget when he was casted. I was so excited. I
Yeah.
think just his character progression from season 1 to 3 is also interesting, becoming
Mhm.
much more noble and nobleman,
Yeah.
less of this dealing with the scum and villainy. Um, incredibly sad. I was incredibly sad. One of those figures that it actually hurt more than I thought it would.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
it's kind of like the Ray Stevenson's death, like all over again, where you're just like it just kind of happens, and you're just like, well, damn. Like not only do you think about like, well, what does this mean for the Mandalorian? What does this mean for this? What does this mean for that? Like you know, what does this mean for their families? Like this just kind of
right.
happens, you know. And it's good to know that Carl Weathers, he peacefully died. He didn't die in pain. He just died in his sleep. But it's like, man, that's like again, it's crazy because Carl Weathers was one of those people, man. You just like he's gonna be here for a long time in cinema. I don't remember how old he was.
76, I think.
Yeah, like for being 76, I always thought Mans was in his like early to mid 50s.
Oh, it's in
Like he
fantastic shape.
yeah, like he always like kept himself like well in shape, always looked great. And so it's just like it's
He had
something
just started
else.
directing too.
Yeah.
He had just started directing with the man. That's another thing too. Is like he
Hmm.
was really taking another avenue into his career. He was a director of a couple episodes of The Mandalorian.
Hmm.
Uh, also, it just I talk about this a lot with my dad about living a fulfilled life. He lived a fulfilled life. Like he was an NFL football player. He went to San
Yeah.
Diego State. What's so funny is it's another legendary person who just passed away. I think a few years ago, John Madden. John Madden was
Yeah.
obviously Madden video games, but Madden was a great coach. Obviously, great as a broadcaster too. But Madden said to Weathers, I guess, "You're too soft to be playing football," or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And that's what got Weathers into acting. He'd always been into acting, but never really pursued it. Um, yeah, just an incredible human being. My heart goes out to his family, and I know Apollo Creed's up there punching still, so it's what
Mm,
makes me happy and smile. He lived a fulfilled life, so
yep. Yeah. R.I.P. to the King, Carl Weathers.
yes. Should we get into what happened today first? Do we want to
Yeah,
do that?
just kind of happens that the Fantastic Forecast got announced officially
Right.
on Valentine's Day of all
Of all
times.
days,
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal.
Honestly, can I be honest? I think he's like the only casting I'm like decently excited for.
Who's playing Ben Grimm again? Who is this guy? What's
I
his
don't
name?
remember.
But I think I like him. I know that I like. I can't remember who it is. Joseph
I'm just
Quinn.
look. So here's my thing. Joseph
Joseph Quinn.
Quinn.
I'm gonna do this. This is all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's my thought. Is it's just like, oh, that's not my first choice. Um,
As Johnny?
yeah. So here's the thing about why I don't think it's like this because I've seen a lot of people who are like, oh, well, he's in so many major projects. He's not. as big of a role as somebody like Johnny.
He's
He's
literally
not
in the
taking
first
advantage
family
of it.
now. He's literally the first family. He's part of the first
Yeah.
family. Like,
So like it's one of those things that's like if you look at the previous Human Torches, it's Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan,
yeah,
who both went on to become two of Marvel's most popular characters with Captain America and Killmonger.
not even just that. Especially Michael B.
Hmm.
Incredibly talented.
Yeah, like
I'm not
his
saying Joseph
careers.
Quinn's not talented, but I'm saying like he's not nowhere Michael B. Jordan
Yeah,
level.
it in my opinion, if this film were happening in 10 years, I could maybe get behind it if he had more under his belt. The only problem that I have with him is number one, he brings those disgusting Stranger Things fans with him, and number two, like again, his range from what I've seen is not big. It is a completely different thing going from playing Eddie Munson disease to to Johnny, to the
Yeah,
Human Torch. Like
right,
it's completely different. You're not going like you're being like again one of Marvel's like most iconic characters.
right.
And like this movie is set to be set in the 60s.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is also I'm trying to think of how like him as Johnny Storm. How is he? I'm sure they screen tested with them all. So
I
I'm sure
hope so.
because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I. You
Yeah.
know who I think work together. I think Pedro and Vanessa Kirby are gonna be
Yes,
great.
I think Kirby and Pascal are going to be great. I'm I personally had some other people up there for Invisible Woman, but I think Kirby's a great choice. Um,
The only
but
thing I
and
will say, I don't mean to
yeah,
cut you off. The only
you're
thing I
good.
will say, I will think about Adam Driver and Margot Robbie as them.
Yeah,
I
I
will think
feel like
about
I feel like I would have rather had Margot, but
you would have rather
again,
had Pedro over Adam as Reed.
correct. I would have rather had Pedro. Adam doesn't look like a Mr. Fantastic. I'm sorry,
Yo,
he
I
did
like
he doesn't give it.
Pedro as
Honestly,
Reed. Richards is so good, so good. I can't get over how good
here's
that is, bro.
I would honestly rather have Adam Driver be like Doctor Doom.
Bro, I can't get over how good Pedro is as Reed.
Could you
That's
can
perfect.
you just
It's you can't
imagine
get any more perfect than that.
when just think about assuming the stars align and the film is amazing. Just think that Pedro Pascal is going to be two of the best characters in the two biggest franchises.
Yeah, he will go down maybe as one of the he already is in my opinion one of the more iconic actors.
Mhm.
He's also in the biggest video game turned
Yeah,
TV series franchise of all time. Like The Last of Us is in my
yeah.
opinion it's
I
huge.
think I think right now after Fantastic Four, I think if Pedro Pascal were to retire, I think he would go down in a top 10 most stacked career of all time.
Narcos, like he is in literally
Yeah,
at Narco like everything.
I think if this movie really hits it out of the park, I think, and call me crazy, I think there's an argument that Pedro Pascal goes into top 10 actors of all time
Oh, I don't think it's yeah, 100%.
because every role he's in is never bad. He somehow was quite great in Wonder Woman.
Oh my god. He was so good.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we were talking about it when we were talking about Human Torch range. Pedro Pascal is the definition of what range
Plays
in
a
an
villain.
actor should look like.
He plays a villain. He plays a dad. He
He
plays a
plays
man who's in a helmet.
yeah, he plays a completely faceless person,
Right.
and he plays it to perfection.
He's one of like he's the best actor maybe of our gen like in the
Yeah,
last decade.
I
I think.
I could 100% agree. I think of our generation, I believe he's up there. I believe he's in the top 3.
Yes.
I think you can maybe make arguments for people like Robert Downey Jr. because he's kind of a major draw no matter what, and he's kind of that in that same role where he has great range. I do feel like he does bleed into the previous generation before us, but more prominently, of course,
I'd
now.
say believe it or not, Robert's gotten better. Like
Yeah,
I think his role as Strauss is I'd make an argument might be better than Iron Man.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
because it's so out of his like I think genre.
yeah, and I think I think if given a few more different roles, I feel like Margot Robbie could be put in that consideration as well.
Yep, absolutely,
She could
absolutely.
go from the cynical and sinister Harley Quinn to the plastic Barbie. So it's quite amazing that some of these high profile people have such large names in our favorite franchises.
Yeah. Um. No, I just like Pedro as Reed is a home run, like a
It,
home
it,
run hire. It's
it,
a home run hire.
it's crazy because it's just like I remember everybody was in doubt about it happening, and then it happened.
Well, we've had a lot of different rumors about who Reed was going to be. We've had Driver. We thought for the longest time it was going to be. Um. We thought it was going to be Diego Luna,
Hmm.
uh, Pentel. We thought
Yep.
it was going to be at one point. We originally thought it was going to be Krasinski again, which I would have been okay with, I guess.
Eh.
But I'm going to be honest with you. Again, another one of these. He's not that good in Multiverse of Madness. Sorry, he doesn't move me as Reed a lot.
No, but we only got him for 3 minutes, and then he was
Also,
just
he
murdered.
also like the script. I think did him like
Yeah, he was just kind of there to explain incursions and die.
like world's smartest man, and then that happened. Like
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
he's the world's smartest man most of the time.
I don't know much about Vanessa Kirby. I don't know what roles she's in. I don't know a whole lot about her, but I think she's very talented. I
Let
can't remember
me
what she's in. What is
let
she
me
in?
let me bring up the IMDb.
Yeah, what is she in? For me to know.
All right, she's known for Princess Margaret in The Crown, Mission
Right.
Impossible Fallout, The White Widow.
Okay.
That's who she
Okay.
played. She was Martha in Pieces of a Woman,
Hmm.
and Tally for The World to Come. That is her four most known.
Films.
Yeah. So she's more prominent in these bigger franchises like Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious, and stuff like that.
I think it's a really good get. I think it's a really good hire. Um,
Yeah, I think it's kind of in that same, well, not necessarily I guess the same vein, but a similar vein to the Human Torch, where it's kind of like a we're gonna wait and see,
right.
because I think I have more faith in Vanessa Kirby than I do the other guy.
Joseph Quinn. Question. The original misconception with it was this was supposed to be Jack Quaid. Would you rather have been Jack Quaid?
As Human Torch,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think he could have done it. 100%.
Literally, if you wanted to, you could have easily just made that assumption off of his performance in The Boys.
Right. I was literally gonna say, like, some of Huey's mannerisms are Johnny
Yeah.
Storm esque.
So literally just off of The Boys, he could have gotten the role, but he didn't. Hopefully, he's going to be somebody better.
Right. Not Jack Wade. This film's set in the 60s.
Odd choice,
No, you don't like it.
because no, because it brings up the number one problem. Why have they never been mentioned before?
Counter. Counter. It's not 616.
Oh, dude, don't do that.
Yep.
Because if it's
Yep.
not 616,
It's
you're
not.
gonna.
It's not. I'm gonna tell
Oh
you it's
man.
not right now. I know for a fact it's not. I don't know for a fact, but I know for a fact it's definitely not. And they're brought in through the multiverse.
They're asking for backlash, because why would you do that?
Okay, but my follow-up would be, would you rather have them introduced in the 60s or in the MCU now? The clusterfuck that is the MCU now. 616 specifically.
Probably now, honestly.
Really?
Um, Yeah, I feel like there's so much more at available with
But
Spider-Man, with Doctor Strange, all that, you know, Scarlet Witch, all that. You can make it all work. The
but
problem
their
is
story is like that's their origin to me.
mhm. Like my thing is this. Obviously, we don't live in a perfect world where Marvel had the rights to Fantastic Four in
Right.
the 2010s.
They would have been
Um,
introduced right away.
I guarantee they probably would have been introduced before the Avengers.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. If they are from another universe, fine. I wouldn't prefer that. Honestly, I'd be more okay if this movie was set in like the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah, but then again, you start to run into to again the '60s. I can maybe see him doing it, maybe because there's nothing. This is we get into such finicky territory if it is '60s 616. We really do
Hmm.
because we ask questions like where, like why, uh, like everything. I think if there's separate universe, and also if we're calling this the multiversal saga,
Hmm.
we have to have some multiverse. Like we have to. We've only had Doctor Strange and Spider Man, and then like a post credit scene of the Marvels explore it.
Yeah.
Quantumania, sure, I guess we could say.
Yeah. Technically.
You've had 3 films out of your 10
Mm.
of this
Yeah.
phase.
I mean,
So that's why I'm cool with it if it's a multiversal like and again, if they're in another universe, that's cool. We could still set up this idea of incursions. We could be like, oh, the Fantastic Four is now trapped in the 616 because of the incursion. And then you could just have them there when the Secret Wars happens.
yeah. I, my only problem with that is it's just like I feel like it would just make more sense to just have them be brought in now into the MCU because the problem is it's just like when you run into other universes, you run into plot holes. The number one thing is if you're from another universe, this was established in Doctor Strange, that if you begin to imprint on another universe, you'll create an incursion. Would that not create an incursion with 616? Is 616 not currently being incurred with the post credit scene to the Marvels?
Right.
The problem is right now is Marvel set up a very big thing with incursions, and now incursions are like the modern day. Why wasn't so and so there during this?
Right.
That's what incursions have become. Incursion would be like, so is an incursion happening or not? Because you said if somebody from another universe is in this universe, they're going to create an incursion if they imprint too much. So it's just like I don't know. I feel like maybe the way they get away with it is they can say that like secret wars will be caused because 616 has caused so many incursions. I could see that being how they go about it, and maybe that's a good way to justify it. But I just feel like you're also going to confuse the average viewer when you say, "Oh, this is actually in a separate universe to Iron Man and all them."
Right.
Because in movies where it's explicitly said that it's not in the same universe, like the Across the Spider Verse, Into the Spider Verse, Raimi movies, the Web movies, all that, I think it's fine because they are established, not the same universe.
Right.
But this is in the scope of the MCU. Now you're going to get people saying, so now I need to keep track of this universe. I need to keep track of this universe. It's the same thing that happened with the Call of Duty zombie storyline when they got multiversal. It's people saying, now I need to account for this in this universe. I need to account for this in this universe. It gets too confusing, and you're gonna immediately ostracize the average viewer from wanting to watch.
I think that's totally fair. I just think my counter would be it's a fresh slate. You could do
Mm,
more with it.
yeah,
Um, and it just works for them. They're the
yeah,
first family. Just if you're like, hey,
mm-hmm,
this is set in the '60s. There's no superheroes. They go to space, and what happens happens. That you could do Silver Surfer. You could do possibly Galactus. You
Yeah.
could set up Galactus as a multiversal thing. Like again, we know like the Celestials created the universe. If Galactus is a Celestial, you could just be like, hey, multiversal. Because again, we have the Celestials still. Again, this is another thing you set up, and like a gazillion things you've set up. You could just be like, hey, Galactus is out there. And if they want to use the Silver Surfer, that's great. Um, like they have plenty of options. Again, they're not going to use Doom.
No.
But I think the 60s in another universe works. I think it works a lot better than if it's in the MCU, because then I ask more questions. And also, Matt Shackman, who's directing this now,
Mhm.
already did like period pieces with WandaVision.
Yeah.
So like I'm really cool with it. And also, I hope they have their like OG like costumes like that they have
Yeah.
in the promo. Are you cool with that? I know you're a big costume guy. What do you want to see them in?
I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
I feel like they've done a pretty good job at getting comic accurate suits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just for me personally to round this up. I personally feel like I could go more with the explanation that the Fantastic Four just got formed versus that they're from another universe.
I think that's totally fair.
I
I don't have a major contention with that.
I think also though, in the MCU, now granted, we've said this before many times, Kang can be played by anybody. How are we gonna get Kang to be black? Because Pedro Pascal is not black, and if Kang is a descendant of him, what are we
Uh,
doing? What are we doing?
well, aren't they like centuries apart? So like you could just
They
be
sure
like,
are, but I'm just saying. This was something my coworker brought up. Because if Reed is white and Kang is black, we got problems. How are we getting there?
I'm just gonna say this. It's a lot better. Hey, it's a lot more explainable than if Adam was
True.
Reed.
True.
No, it's like they're thousands of years apart. We're good.
Sure.
No, we're good. Now the other problem is that let's just think about this. His son's white. His son's
Mhm.
very white. Actually, Franklin's very white.
Correct.
Does Franklin have kids? I can't
I'm not
remember. I don't
sure.
think so. We're good. It's gonna get figured out. It's good. We're good.
Multiverse.
I'll go-
There you go. That's your explanation.
doesn't really matter, but yeah, I'm excited. Did they move the date? It's July of
Yes.
2025.
So they switched it with Thunderbolts dates. So Thunderbolts got moved up, and then Fantastic Four is
There's
taking
no
its
okay.
place.
I'm gonna say this right now. The Thunderbolts is not coming out that
I
day.
don't know.
There is no that film. It hasn't even started production.
It could start soon.
It starts soon. They got film in a year and post in a year. I guess all
Disney
in 1
Plus
year.
can do it.
That's true. That's unfortunate. You're right. You're unfortunately right.
And then we get stuff that looks like the volume.
Right. You get Love and Thunder. You get
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
Parts of Kenobi.
Right. No, I'm cool with it in July. I'm cool with it in July.
Yeah. I feel like that's fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
By the way, since we're talking about release dates, did you hear? Now, I doubt this stays set in stone. 2 Star Wars movies in 2026.
It's not gonna happen.
We've
That'd be
seen
incredible.
crazier.
That
We've
would be
seen
incredible.
we've seen almost 4 live action TV shows in a year.
That would
So
be incredible. Be awesome. Be a great
so
time.
you'd have one start the year and one end the year.
Time out. By the way, think about the movies we're getting in 2025. Think about wait. Think about July of 2025. Superman.
Yeah.
Legacy. Fantastic Four.
Crazy enough, 2 movies that desperately need to succeed.
Right.
Desperately need to succeed.
We're gonna get the Batman Part 2.
Hopefully.
Captain America.
Hopefully.
Incredible.
assuming Captain America doesn't get rewritten, reshot again.
Right.
Honestly, Disney, just pull the Batgirl treatment. Write it off as canon.
No, don't do that.
Because you keep fucking up this
No.
movie so much. God, I have never seen a movie in such purgatory of hell than this Captain America movie.
It's incredible, dude. It's really incredible. I don't even know.
You would think, how many movies in are we in the MCU? Almost 30?
Oh, it's over 30, I think.
And they still can't get this shit right.
I just want Sam Wilson's Captain America one time, please. One time. It's been 4 years since I've seen him.
Look, and I'm all for this. If it doesn't work as a movie, make it into a TV series.
Right. I just want to see him as Captain America, bro.
Yeah.
Let me see him.
Not gonna happen, buddy. Not gonna happen.
All right. Deadpool
and Wolverine.
Thoughts on
Kinda
the
crazy.
trailer?
It was cool. I liked the raunchiness of it. I don't remember who said it. They very much just felt like this was just Ryan Reynolds clowning on Disney.
Yes.
This isn't a movie about Deadpool. This is about Ryan Reynolds showing the control he still has, even under Disney.
He's Marvel Jesus. He said it himself. He's literally Jesus, bro.
Yeah. I am really excited. The trailer got me kind of stoked.
So excited.
Got me kind of stoked. This might be the first movie I, in so long, go to like the midnight release. I can't lie.
I'm so excited.
I don't know. It's gonna depend. Because look, I'm not gonna lie. This year movies aren't looking the greatest.
No.
As it stands right now, the only two movies I'm going to see this year are the Demon Slayer movie, which is at the end of this month, and Deadpool 3. Yes. And that's it. There's no other film coming out this year that sounds remotely appealing. So if I tell you that this movie is a letdown, oh my God, I'm going to be something else. Because I'm telling you, it's crazy. Because I feel like every project I've been saying this is like do or die for Marvel. Because if you screw up Deadpool, oh man, you're going to have people on the streets rioting.
It's over.
Now, I feel like this is good. I feel like we're going to be in good hands because from what it sounds like, the production was still the same from Deadpool 1 and 2. It just had the Disney IP slapped on it.
Right. Got Levi in there, Sean Levi. You got Hugh. You got Ryan. Like, I mean, I got total complete confidence. I will say, love the trailer. I just, and again, as somebody who's seen bits and pieces of the Deadpool films, I got to watch them.
Yeah.
Like just his charisma, like his dickheadedness, like it was perfect. Like it felt so Deadpool. It also felt like Deadpool in the MCU though. Like it didn't feel like it was his own thing. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like Deadpool in the MCU. It's ties to the Void. It's ties to the TVA. Like the TVA felt like something I had seen, but also felt different for this project. Right?
It did feel really weird seeing the TVA because it was kind of like two separate studios were doing this.
Right.
Because they don't look the same. They don't act the same.
Again, we have to remember the TVA is massive. And also, I have questions. When is he pruned exactly? Like, is he pruned when He Who Remains is ahead? Or
my question to you.
Okay.
This will when we do the Deadpool 3
because we saw Goliath too.
We did. By the way, I've been thinking about what that thing's name was the entire time since we've been talking because I've kept wanting to call it Abeloth.
No, I've called it that too, but it's not the mother. It's not the Devourer mother. No. You're thinking of Ahsoka season 2, but that's okay.
No.
It's
but I wonder, do you think we will see a Loki cameo.
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think we see the Tree of Life. I don't think we see Loki.
I think we could. So here's my thing. So I think the premise of the movie is I think Deadpool is going to be sent in to stop a bunch of things.
Okay.
Like he's going to be sent in to stop a bunch of events. And then he's going to mess up and it's going to make things like infinitely worse. And then that's how he's going to get inserted into the MCU. Because again, I think Secret Wars is going to be led up to all of these incursions keep happening from 616.
Right.
That it's
Well,
going to literally just boil over.
Yeah,
into
the
Battle
616 is the center point, and like all
Yeah.
the incursions. Yes. Okay, we agree on this then.
And that's what I think is going to happen. Is I think he's going to go try to save Logan from dying in the forest, and then he's going to fail and mess it up. Maybe he gets X-23 killed, like something like that. I think he's going to constantly try to solve something, and then he's going to mess it up worse, and it's going to cause a branch timeline.
I have a crazy theory.
Okay.
Okay, so you know how he's watching clips from Age of Ultron.
Saluting Captain America, yes.
So he's a fanboy of Captain America. I like how they did this. He's a huge fanboy in the comics. Remember how Chris Evans signed on for some films? This was reported by a Hollywood Trade. This was like before we started the podcast. This was a while ago. Alex?
Are you thinking we're seeing the return of the Human Torch?
I think Chris Evans is in this movie as Captain America. Briefly.
Oh, I think he's both.
What if he's both?
He's both. He's gonna salute Human Torch thinking it's Captain America, and then he's gonna be set ablaze. And then he's gonna go up to Captain America thinking he's Human Torch still.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden he's gonna get like punched in the chest and get sent flying because it's.
And there's also 2 Wolverines in this film, at the very least.
Oh yeah, there's gotta be because I think
There's
so
Patch. There's Patch.
Yes, and I think that's played not by Hugh Jackman.
And that's Daniel Radcliffe.
I don't think it's Daniel Radcliffe. I don't think he looks that big.
Are you calling Daniel Radcliffe small? Are you calling him small?
Itty bitty.
As a resident of, as a short cane myself, that's
I know.
disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. You
I'm
might
a short
be taller
kid.
than him.
No, okay, that's you can't be doing that, Alex, bro. You cannot be doing that to me. You cannot be doing that to me, bro.
I'm just saying. You could be. Let me see.
No, don't pull his height up because then I have to say. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. How tall is he?
How tall are you?
Just say his height. Just say his height.
Mm-mm.
No, you have to say
I
his
know
height.
your height.
I'm not saying my height first. He's good.
I know your height. I want you to say it.
I'm not saying my height until you say Daniel Radcliffe's height.
He's taller than you.
No, just say his height then for the people.
5'5". Well, guys, we tried. God, he's shorter than his wife. Yikes. Wow. Guys, all I'm going to say is I'm not going to say Drew's height. He is shorter than 5'5".
Now people could be thinking I'm a midget. So, like, I'm 5'4". I'm an inch shorter. Yo, this isn't funny, bro. This is not funny. This is literally not funny.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm literally Wolverine then.
You sure could be. Sorry.
I didn't realize he was 5'5". I thought you were gonna be like, oh, he's 5'7". Then it'd be like, oh, I'm 5'6". No, but he's 5'5".
5'5", 5 feet, 5 inches.
I'm 5'4", and that's a good day.
And that's a good day. That's insane.
Back to this goddamn. No, I'm joking. It's fine. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. I like it. It's funny.
But yeah, I don't know. I wonder what the void has to do with the movie because I feel like that's where a lot of this could take place. Also,
Right.
I feel like if it's not about him fixing timelined events, I could see him being sent to the void to potentially take out certain high level people.
But they're already dead in the void, is my thing.
Are they?
What if that's explained? What if that's a follow-up from the events of Loki? It's the void is no longer outside of time and space. That it's now within time and space. What if that's an explanation?
I think just keep it outside of time and space.
Okay. Well, because I also think the void is Battle World.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it's going to get turned into. So I think what's going to happen is I think the TVA is going to send him in there to
Okay.
take out certain people
Okay.
that are going to pose as threats to certain people who maybe we'll see, maybe we won't. And I think, because my prediction is I could see the TVA being pre-Loki.
I could see parts of it being okay. This is my theory. I think he gets arrested
Mm-hmm.
for the time heist stuff he was doing at the end of Deadpool 2.
Yes.
Maybe not arrested, but at least brought in.
Mm.
He gets the role assigned to him of recovering people. He fucks up.
Mm.
They then arrest him, send him to the void. I think it's also a thing where maybe he like accidentally does it and somehow. I think the original Wolverine he tries to recruit is Patch. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think he accidentally gets this Wolverine into the void.
Mm.
They fight. They get. I don't know how they get out of the void.
I don't know.
I think the TVA might come back.
Yeah, I think it
That
maybe could.
this is where the transition happens.
True,
They
yeah,
need him
maybe
again.
or when Loki takes over, they get shot out of the void. The void could just get reset
Yep.
upon Loki taking over.
Yep.
I can see that being an explanation.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wonder how we get to the void, because remember, as far as we know, you can only really use a time door to get there or get pruned.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what makes 2 + 2 = 4 here.
And my other question is revolving the other character that's in the title of this film, which, by the way, genius. He's literally in the title of the film. He only had to do one shot, and I was like, oh, yep, that's dope.
Yep.
Where you just see the claws.
Mhm.
Wish I could do that. What variant of Wolverine is this? Is it
I
the
think
one
it's
from
different.
the Logan, or is this just a different one? You think it's just a different one?
I think it's just a different one.
I can't wait to see that suit.
I know. And here's the thing: is like, it's so weird because again, Phase 4 really was the beginning of like comic accurate suits,
Right.
and now like I cannot wait because then, sorry to spoil, but we have seen the leaked Daredevil suit from Born Again.
Yep.
It's mostly comic
Bullseye.
accurate. Bullseye in his training outfit. And so I am really thinking that we're going on this comic accurate stint. My whole thing is I just wonder how the movie ends.
Yeah.
I wonder if they reward Deadpool by bringing him into the MCU. Like him and Wolverine. I wonder if that's how they reward them. Because then if you do that, you have Deadpool, Wolverine, Kamala as the mutants.
Yep.
Which just saying Kamala Khan in that sense doesn't sound right at
Can
all.
you go. If I told you like 6 years ago, the first 3 X-Men in the MCU, and I go Wolverine, you're like, that makes sense.
Yep.
Deadpool, you're like, okay, sure. Yeah, makes sense. And then Kamala Khan,
Yeah. The famous X-Men.
incredible X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like Kevin Feige hates the Inhumans or something.
Maybe, just maybe.
Maybe Kevin, do you hate the Inhumans? You literally canceled a movie and made it a show, and the show was terrible. He just told me he hates him. Kevin Feige is my roommate. If you did not know, people, I know it all.
Bro has the script.
I have the script. No, incredible trailer. Incredible. That's my final thought.
Yeah,
Very
and I
good.
thought that, by the way, the shot of him reloading his guns, top 3 shots of like any trailer ever.
Okay. Also, I do want to say this. As fans of sports, as fanatics of things, we need to stop saying that the most recent thing we see is the best thing we've ever seen,
Yeah,
because it's
stop.
not true. It's
It's
not
getting
true.
so
It's not true.
old.
It's not true. It's not true. You literally saw a movie like less than a year ago where everybody was saying it's the best hallway scene of all time. It's like the greatest action scene ever, and the Deadpool trailer literally did the same thing. Sure, we could say it's a great shot. It's a great shot. I agree. It's a great shot, but it's not the greatest thing you've ever seen. It's the most recent greatest thing you've ever seen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Me personally,
stop doing this, people.
Me personally, it's in my top 3, but I understand that sentiment also. Everything is peak until it comes out, then it's not peak.
Everything is either peak, mid, or trash. There's like no nuance. It's just like, this is fantastic. This is mid.
If on a rating scale, for most people, everything is 0%, 50%, or 100%.
No, literally, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's not right.
It's not the greatest shot you've ever seen. Stop it, please. It's just a good shot that you really liked in the moment. It's not the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Yep.
Take a minute, relax with it, go from there. Alex, can you believe this? We have a show coming out next week. We got to preview it. The Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch, season 3. For so much, I called it the mid batch, the unforgettable batch, the defective batch, the unwatchable batch, the unwanted batch,
the peak batch. Sometimes.
Season 2 was quite great. I am surprisingly not hyped for season 3.
I almost forgot it came out next week.
Same. So here's kind of the problem with season 3. For me personally, at least, again, I've started watching anime. I have so many shows I'm watching right now that I'm so excited to keep watching again. Oh, okay.
Keep going. You're good.
Okay. I'll say I'm about to start season 2 of Attack on Titan. I think halfway through season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. There are so many things that I would rather be watching because I'm really invested in the story. And then the Bad Batch is coming out, and I'm just kind of like, do I want to stop watching these shows to watch the Bad Batch? The show that notoriously had a whole season that was a 5 out of 10.
Right.
And a season that was maybe, 7.5 out of 10?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And so since I've started watching anime, I've started a Google Sheet. Based on like when I rank like the seasons in the series that I watch.
Right.
And so the way that I do it is I rate it by score. I rate it by like I have notes about what happened and all that. I have my score, which is rated by percentage and color, and then I have my recommendation score.
Okay.
I'm giving the Bad Batch season 1. So my colors are red for the ranking percentage. Red is really bad, or is really bad. Orange is bad with redeeming qualities. Yellow is good but missing massive qualities. Green is quite great, would recommend but not quite perfect. And then blue is elite. I gave season 1 of the Bad Batch really, really bad. I gave season 2. I gave it a 71. So it's in the green category. I gave it quite great, would recommend, but not quite perfect. I'm giving the whole show, by the way, unless season 3 completely changes my mind, I'm giving it a yellow recommendation, which is would recommend, but not highly.
I think that's fair.
So, like, my problem is I want to put this in perspective also of us, because again, me and you watch this show when it comes out on the weekly basis, because we talk about it. We were talking about it basically on the weekly basis.
Mhm.
I'm seeing so many people just starting to watch The Bad Batch, and they're talking about how it's probably the best Star Wars they've ever seen. It's some of the best characters they've seen, and I'm just like, how? But then I'm also seeing it that these people are watching it like 4 episodes at a time.
Right.
I think The Bad Batch really should just either release it all at once or release it like 4 episodes a week.
Yeah. This is why I'm excited for at least the first week.
Yeah, because the first week's got 3 episodes. So we're going to be able to just watch. You're going to get the whole story versus like season 1 specifically was the worst culprit of it, where it was random side story of the week, week after week after week after week after week after week after week. We were just like, bro, where's the story?
Right.
Season 2 did a lot better. It still had some of those adventures of the weeks, which again, you have the poster behind you of a show that does adventure of the week great. Like, you have this man Din Djarin just randomly helping a bounty hunter to then, forging armor. Like, it random stuff to
Right.
be doing with an overall plot. The Bad Batch that is almost double the time of The Mandalorian somehow managed to do less in more time.
Right.
So what season 3 needs for me personally, it needs to do something like season 2. Season
But for the whole
2,
season.
yes, for the whole season. Season 2, I will always give props to shows that have balls for killing off a main character.
Oh yeah.
If season 3 retcons Tech's death,
No,
this
please do
show
not.
will go down as the worst Star Wars show ever because it is the show that lacks balls. You can't
Kill your
undo it.
characters.
Yes, and not kill your characters for the sake of killing them. Kill them if it makes sense to kill them.
Yeah, Tech's death is fantastic because it makes sense for the story.
Yeah. Like, also, like, for the sake of the Bad Batch, you don't need them. You don't need, look, with Echo being in the group, you don't need Tech.
Right.
With Tech being in the group, you don't need Echo. Pick one.
Right. We've been saying this. We have said this for 3 years. We're
'Cause they
like,
do
they
the
do
same
the same
things.
thing. They do
They
the
do the
same
same
thing.
jobs. The only difference that Tech has is that Tech's goggles allow him to communicate with other species.
Right.
Oh no, they're gonna run into that problem once every 20 missions.
Right.
So that's my thing. I think season 3 really needs to hit a big bang.
Okay. With this preview, we don't really have questions, but by questions, let's go in order. Let's go character by character, and we'll go
Okay.
chance of them dying.
Oh,
Crosshair.
75.
You think he's cooked?
I think he's cooked. And I think he sacrifices himself for the batch.
Dead. Dies.
Okay, yeah.
Wrecker.
Survives.
You're
I'm
not
being
gonna
honest. I think maybe one person dies at max.
You're not gonna like this.
Okay.
Dead.
It doesn't affect me. I mean,
Oh yeah, I was just saying you're not gonna agree. I think he dies.
I see it though. Who else?
Echo.
Omega dies.
Oh my god,
No.
no! Echo.
Survives.
Yeah, very like that one might even be as obvious as Omega. They're not killing Echo.
Yeah.
If they kill Echo, I will call this the worst Star Wars show of all time.
I don't know if I can do all that.
Echo, listen, my boy has been through a lot.
He sure has, but
It's been 12 years since he originally died in the Citadel, where like he should have been dead, but mind you, okay, that's another one where he should have died. That's another character who should have been dead. We saw his helmet; he was dead, but he's alive. and we love Echo. He cannot be the last domino to fall. Please, can we just have one stay up? Please.
I don't know, man. To quote a wise man, he just might be cooked.
Hunter,
Survives.
yes. Omega.
Survives.
Okay, so my question is, for these characters that survive, where do they go? Like, what happens?
I don't know. These characters are absent everywhere else in the timeline. So
Right.
I don't know where they've been. Taking some time off, clearly, because
Right.
I would love to have their work schedule because these bitches are gone for the whole Star Wars universe leading up to
Right.
this point.
Yes. They're not with Rex. They're not with Wolf. They're not with Gregor. Um, oh no. Oh no. I had a bad thought. Cody.
Dead.
No. No, please. No.
I also think though for Cody,
Oh
like,
my
what else
god.
do you have him do?
Who kills him?
Um,
You say it. Say it.
I could see, like Hemlock doing it. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Hemlock?
Hemlock, right?
Hemlock?
Right?
Something like that.
Bro, I was gonna say Rex.
Rex? Really?
Yeah. No, because Cody's like conflicted. Yeah, that's bad take. Cody's conflicted at this point.
Wow.
I don't see Rex. Hemlock.
Yeah.
I see though as the last big thing a massive clone rebellion. Like I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
like massive clone rebellion on Tantus. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody, like Rex, Cody, Echo, Wolf,
Yeah.
Gregor, literally everybody up against Tantus. Um, that's the other thing. What is Tantus? What's going on there? What are
Mm-hmm.
we setting up?
I'm gonna say, so all we know is that Hemlock wanted Omega to help inspire Nala Se to continue working on what Palpatine wanted.
Right.
More than likely, it was to help or to continue working on the Force sensitive clone.
Right.
So I think that that's what it's going to happen. I think the obvious thing is that Mount Tantus is going to most likely be destroyed,
Yep.
or at least a major part of it. I wonder how they do that. I bet the Zillow Beast gets unleashed again.
Is the Zillow there? Oh,
They brought the
wait.
Zillow Beast there.
No. What if it's the original one?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Remember how Palpatine's like, we got special plans for you?
mm,
What if that's what he really meant?
yeah. I mean, so that's where I'm thinking. I think the obvious thing is it's going to be because I think they alluded that years have passed since season
Right.
two's ending. I think it's going to be Hunter's like, all right, guys, we need to go get Omega now. And
Right.
then it's just going to be them trying to infiltrate Mount Tantus. They blow it up, somebody dies, and the story's over. And that's really it. That's the important part. So there's probably going to be 80 fucking side quests before then. I'm telling you, it's fictional characters, absolute, like, God-given right that before you can complete your main quest, you have to complete 60 side quests first.
Right. Right.
You have to.
Right.
And so it's by the way, I think we mentioned this with the Bad Batch trailer. Why did they spoil that Crosshair is going to rejoin like relatively early on? Like, and it's not even that they're like, oh, they hinted at it. He's just in the background of a shot. His
It's in the
gun is
background of multiple
in the
shots. I think of
foreground.
multiple shots. I think
Yeah.
of like 2 or 3.
His gun is in the foreground of a major shot. So it's like, why are we spoiling
Obviously, it's not
this?
that big of a deal.
No, I mean it's obviously was gonna go that way, but like to me, this is what I'm saying. I think depending on how it goes, I think it's gonna be basic on how they do Crosshair's redemption. I think Crosshair is gonna go down as a horrible character because he's gonna have that Din Djarin season 3 level of character regression, where he's like, "Oh right, I want to be with my brothers because the Empire is bad." Even though I said I willingly chose this path.
Right. Instead of him just being like remorseful the whole time.
Yeah, I think if they go down the route that he's like, yeah, I thought the Empire was sunshine and rainbows, and turns out they weren't. That would be a good character arc for him personally.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to do that, unfortunately. I think they're going to go down the route of, oh, I just want to be with my brothers because my brothers care for me.
The Empire did it. The Empire lied.
The Empire lied to me. They want to kill my brothers, and I don't want them to kill them anymore. Even though I pretty sure I shot one of my brothers once too.
Right.
And I tried to kill my brothers by lighting them up in a Venator engine, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm the good guy.
Yeah. Also, Cad Bane, Fennec Shand.
Yes.
How are they going to get roped into this?
Bounty hunters, man. They're sick.
I think they're going to be a part of the Tantus fight. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be literally recruiting everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Wookiees.
Kanan.
No, I don't think that. But mostly because I think by this time he's a smuggler right now. So
right. Well,
who knows? True. We know this series don't give a damn about those books.
Omega beating Boba. Like it has to happen, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
But I think
yeah.
I think their excuse for that is that there was another identical clone. Mm-hmm. That lady.
Yeah.
I think that's their workaround.
I think that could be another thing too, is I think when Cad Bane is brought in, I think Boba could still be his wingman. And I think that's where we get the shootout.
Wait, because but doesn't he already have the... He already has the... Yes.
Does he?
Yes, he does. Because that shootout happens in...
Clone Wars, but Cad Bane dies from that.
But Cad has the cybernetic.
Boba can shoot him in the other side of the head.
Yeah.
Or he can get hit in the same prosthetic part.
Well, the other problem with Cad being there, just in general, is the fact that he lives for like a whole another 30 years.
I could honestly, though, I could see Boba and Cad Bane having a three-peat shootout. I could see it happening that they do it 3 times in their life.
Cad has to win at least one.
Yeah, I think that could be what it is. I think Boba gets the dent in the series. I think their heads.
That'd be a really good idea. That'd be smart.
I think what you do is you can say their first fight was a draw. Cad won the second fight, and then Boba really won the third fight.
Yeah, Cad did.
Maybe.
No, he dead.
He better be dead. But yeah, so I would actually really like to see that. I could see that Boba could get all tied up with the fact that my brothers are dying. My brothers, they're getting killed by the Empire.
Well, no, what if the Empire just brought him in? It was like, hey.
Yeah, I could see that also. I could see Boba getting brought in, not knowing that some of the stormtroopers are clones. And when he figures that out, I could see that being a thing because he could be like, my dad, he looks like me. And they look like him too. That's
not what Boba sounds like at all. It's so funny. It's just...
Hey, I didn't say I was a professional here. Okay? I didn't say I was professional.
Well, no, I just kind of want to see, his uprising as a bounty hunter because he's starting to become the main man.
Yeah. I'm trying. I wonder what the time gap is going to be here because I guess spoiler alert for Jedi Survivor. If you don't know, he's in the game. What was in Jedi Survivor?
Hmm.
Him and Cal meet, and by that time he has the dent in the helmet. So I'm just saying. I think that would be pretty cool. Whether you have Boba be brought in by Cad Bane to help, or you have Boba be brought in by the Empire, I could see both things happening. And you got to think by this time, Boba is what? Maybe in his 20s,
Maybe. Yep. I would
maybe
say.
still late teens.
He's 10. He's what, like 10 by the time of Attack of the Clones, plus 3. Say
And then
18.
probably like, yeah, I think he's like 16, 17, 18 right now. So I could see that. Again, I would just watch the whole series for the shoot off
Right.
or for the duel.
Yeah. But I
Do
don't
you
think
think
we're gonna get him.
maybe we see Ahsoka? She's
Please
in
no.
everything,
Please no. Sorry, no.
but she's in everything, Drew. She
Because if Ahsoka's
has
in
to
it,
be.
Bo-Katan's in it.
I don't know if Bo-Katan's in it, but
What would Alex? What would Ahsoka's role be?
she knows the clones.
I could see imagine her as like the lead general.
Mm-hmm. Her and Gungi, or Gungi, whatever the fuck his stupid
Oh,
ass name
he's in
is.
it too.
Yeah. Ventress.
There's a lot of. Listen, I think this season's gonna kick ass.
Yeah. I think there is some room for error.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And so I think they need to be cognizant of that.
Listen, I trust them. They stuck the landing with, as much as I don't love Rebels, they stuck the landing with Rebels and obviously Clone Wars.
Hey,
So,
what do you mean you don't love it?
It's not my favorite thing on the planet. I don't love it.
Guys, let's cancel this guy. He's got to go. Get him out of here. Throw him off the show.
Listen, people thought that I remember thinking none of those Rebels characters are going to survive, and most of them survived, and we got a fantastic story now going with Ahsoka and those characters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
by the way, can we talk about how the season 2 of Ahsoka was not greenlit like immediately?
Yeah.
Why do you think that was?
I think it was internally greenlit, but I don't know.
Think? Because I still am irritated by the fact it wasn't like immediately greenlit.
I don't know. Can't answer that.
Star Wars is weird. Disney's weird too. Disney bought 10% of Epic Games. So
I saw that.
It's so crazy also
they're
because
really invested in the metaverse, bro. They're really invested in that sphere.
It's crazy because so many people are so scared about Disney owning that 10% of Epic Games because they think Fortnite's going to get Disneyified. Here's the thing, y'all. They own 10%, so they have 10% say. The CEO of Epic Games has 51%.
Right.
He holds a little bit of a larger piece of the pie.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I don't know. I am moderately excited for all things coming forward. I think right now, for entertainment as a whole, I think we're in a golden era of entertainment right now. I think we live in a day and age where we are getting great superhero stuff like The Boys, Invincible, most likely Daredevil Born Again. I'm going to fingers crossed that's amazing. Loki, Moon Knight. We're getting some misses with She-Hulk and Secret Invasion, but we got a pretty decent track record of at least 7 out of 10 or higher.
Yep.
Great Star Wars. Anime, all-time high right now.
Anime been fantastic, yeah.
And I think, and also, just the booming of the box office of non-major IPs. Oppenheimer, Barbie, whatever that one flower movie was about.
Killers of the Flower Moon, yeah. Whatever that one flower movie was about.
Oops, sorry, forgot to see that one.
No,
So yeah.
Alex, I totally I don't know if it's a golden age. I would call that the late 70s and 80s.
Oh, I don't know if I can say all that. The
Uh,
movies were great. The TV series and all that didn't age very well.
no, I agree with that.
Here's my thing.
But television was different. You know
True.
what I'm saying? It was just different.
It's crazy because we replaced cable with more expensive cable because of streaming.
Bro, we're going back to cable. The sports world. I don't know if you heard about this. ESPN,
Yep.
Turner, and Fox they're all coming together. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally cable is coming back. I never left. Our family never left. So we're just gonna be square one again.
Salute to you, because as soon as like Disney Plus and all that came out, my mom cut cable right that month.
But it's more expensive to own all the
It's-
apps you want to now.
It so is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
How much is Netflix, by the way? I don't have Netflix. How much is that?
so I don't know either. I think it's like $15 for the non-ad version.
Yeah. Which, by the way, remember how they said they were never gonna do that?
Yeah. So here's my other thing too, by the way. Like starting in 2025, I'm going to be paying for 3 subscription services.
Mhm.
Amazon Prime,
Right.
Netflix, and Disney Plus.
Peacock.
Nope, Peacock I'll be getting rid of because
Okay.
in 2025, WWE's moving to Netflix.
Okay.
That's why I'm
That's
getting
right.
Netflix.
Yes.
That alone, if the prices stay the same right now,
That's not terrible though.
and it's almost $50 for those 3 subscription services. Our cable bill when we did have cable was $68.
Our cable bill's high, but we get a lot of channels. My dad and I watch a lot of sports, so like we have a lot of the like Big Ten Network, like you'd be like flipping through on channel like 560 watching a random college basketball game, like
Yeah.
So ours is more expensive, but like if hypothetically ESPN, Fox, CBS, listen to me, come close, NBC, come close, make an app. With just the sports. None of the Bravo, none of the Lifetime, just the sports. And that's the only thing I'll ever pay for. All the sports at one place. All the sports on one place.
Yeah.
Do it. I will pay. If it's like $200 a month, I will pay. I don't care.
We are in just such a weird place where like football games are on different streaming services.
Yeah, which is stupid. The dumbest thing ever.
It's insanity. It's such a bad market for cash grabbing too, because you're just like, most people are just going to be like, I just won't watch it then. I'll just look up what happens.
Right.
But yeah, that is kind of like, it's insane because I remember thinking like, oh man, it's so expensive to have Netflix. It was $10 and I only watched like a few shows. Now I'm about to have to pay $15 for wrestling every month. And that's it. Because I don't want to watch anything else on that program.
Right.
It's gonna suck. But it's gonna be okay. Because again, I'm losing Peacock. But by the way, RIP Peacock in 2025.
RIP Peacock.
Because once WWE leaves, it's losing its subscribers.
Well, weirdly enough, it's getting what does it have?
It gets a lot of new movies first, I've noticed.
It's getting Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it got Oppenheimer. It's really weird that Peacock is getting these rights. I want to know where this money's coming from.
Yeah, I agree, Alex. It's really puzzling. It's really puzzling what's going on there. I got nothing else to talk about. Do you, or we good?
I'm good.
We're good. We'll be back next week for a Bad Batch episode 1 through 3. You want to see 3? 3 review. As always, may the force be with you. May you stay burdened with glorious purpose. We will see you all in episode 115. Peace. Alrighty.